We just got news that another crypto company is going bankrupt. Now, this is obviously bad for the space. I want to say right off the bat, though, that it is not an exchange, which is good, I think, for everyone's peace of mind. It's not Binance, but it is a very important company in crypto, which we'll talk about. We also have another crypto company that could cause so many liquidations and so many issues here very soon if they don't play their cards right, that announced something here today or has some news. And we'll also talk about another crypto lender or crypto exchange that you may be able to get your crypto back from, one that already declared bankruptcy. I'm going to keep it really short. I was actually in bed for like an hour before I saw this news. It's past midnight here where I'm living, but I wanted to bring this to you because it is so important that we stay on our toes these days. And if you want to stay on your toes, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification, because some of this stuff is very time sensitive, which is why I want to bring it to you. Now, there are also links underneath the video in case you want some free stocks through moomoo. You can get some free money. Just deposit $100 on their platform, and it does help out the channel, so I do appreciate that. Now, we just got news tonight that Core Scientific is supposedly going bankrupt, and there have been some rumblings about this. We knew that they were in big trouble. They're down 98% over the last year. This is not even from their highs. This is just in the last 1 year. They're down 98%. They're still a $78 million company, probably going to fall out tomorrow, I would expect. And this company has a a very large portion of the mining capacity for Bitcoin. The hash rate is massive for Core Scientific. So just so you know, imagine one ASIC miner. It's about 20 pounds, 30 pounds, something like that. Pretty significant. Is like this wide, this long, this tall. They have 243,000 of those. They have about 10% of the overall hash rate. Right now, the hash rate's right around 240, I believe, and they have 24.4 EH per second. They have self-mining, and they have 143,000 self-miners. They also have services where they can host for other people, which is another 100,000 customer-owned ASICs. Now, they sell a lot of Bitcoin. They sell, last month, they sold about 2,285 Bitcoin. They sold about $45 million worth of Bitcoin over 1 month. They have, at the end of that month, only 62 Bitcoin and approximately 32 million in cash. Now, they did not give the updated report for what they did in November. This is back in October, but you can see that they were really not holding any Bitcoin. They just kept on running through Bitcoin. Now, it's probably due to the factor that they're going bankrupt is due to a couple different factors. One, they just probably grew much too quickly. I know last year they were around 14 EH per second, and now they have these big plans that are trying to get to 40 by the end of the year, which is a crazy goal. I mean, you're talking about tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars going into ASICs. So they probably just grew too aggressively. Were not good stewards of their cash. And then also we just know that the price going down and the cost going up for electricity and for just goods in general, right? Real estate, ASIC miners over the last couple of years have gone up in price so much. Now they're down a bit, but a lot of these companies just grew too quickly and they couldn't actually afford to grow that aggressively. So this is obviously going to hurt the overall hash rate. I don't think that it is really having much of an effect on Bitcoin, honestly. Since this was announced, Bitcoin hasn't moved. The fact is Bitcoin will continue to Bitcoin, which is why you can get really good returns in something like this, like a public miner. Not that this one actually did well since the beginning, but you can get good returns if you time it right. But it is going to be very hard to figure out what miners are going to make it through and what miners are in a good position. So that's why I've been saying pretty much the whole year that Bitcoin is probably the best way to go if you want exposure to Bitcoin. Now, another company that's in trouble right now, a lot of people know, is DCG. DCG had large exposure to a lot of different scams and a lot of different frauds and a lot of different bankrupt companies throughout the year. Now, this just came out they're expecting a large Genesis trading creditor group to make a coordinated proposal to DCG before the end of the week. And then it came out today that Cameron Winklevoss had someone present a plan on behalf of the creditors committee to resolve the liquidity issues at Genesis and DCG and provide a path forward for the recovery of assets. They're expecting a response by the end of the week, but they don't go too into detail on what they actually proposed. Now, I think this could be the next leg to drop. If we do have another leg to drop in crypto, it could be DCG. We know that they have a lot of different hands and a lot of different pies. A lot of companies use them to get a yield on their assets. And this could be a pretty tough thing. We hopefully will get more news by the end of the week, but we haven't heard much from Genesis or from DCG over the last month maybe. So hopefully, fingers crossed, everything is okay there. The other thing that people keep on looking at is either macro or Binance. Those are the three things that people are really worried about right now. But this is a good time to be holding some cash on the sidelines. Honestly, Core Scientific going out of business will just help the other Bitcoin miners because they'll become more profitable. They did say that they're going to try to continue to mine while they're restructuring their business through the bankruptcy. So I don't know exactly how much the hash rate's going to go down from this, at least at first, but I would expect some hit in the hash rate for sure. I also talked about how we were going to discuss a crypto exchange that you could possibly get your assets back from if you had them on this platform, obviously, one that declared bankruptcy recently, and that's Celsius. They just amassed 30 potential bidders for their assets. They say that they also got their withdrawal motion approved, which we'll talk about here in a second. But they, according to a presentation filed on December 20, more than 125 parties have been contacted since September, and 30 potential bidders are executing non-disclosure agreements. So they are trying to sell off their assets. They have 2.6 billion left supposedly in crypto, and they have about 1.2 billion short to pay off all their debts. Now, they say that they've been able to continue to get operating cash flow to be positive every month this year because they continue to deploy more mining rigs. I'll be honest, I don't remember what they do in the mining field. Hopefully, they have more money coming in and continue to pay off some of their debts. But I didn't keep up with them too much in what they were doing here in the mining realm back when they were not bankrupt. They also declared that they granted a motion filed by Celsius on September 1, allowing them to reopen withdrawals for a minority of their customers. The assets eligible to be withdrawn are those that were only ever held in the custody program for amounts less than $7,575 and for funds that were transferred from earn or borrow programs into the custody program within 90 days of Celsius filing for bankruptcy on July 13. The order also applies to ineligible withhold assets, with assets including in the definition to be determined following meetings between Celsius, the Withhold Ad Hoc Group, and the Celsius Official Committee of Unsecured Creditors. So if you are part of these groups, congrats, you may be getting part of your crypto back early. Hopefully we can get the rest of the crypto back to everyone as well. I didn't ever use Celsius, but I'm hoping for the best for everyone that had assets on the platform. Let me know your thoughts on all this underneath the video. Do you think Core Scientific failing is going to be good for crypto overall because it will just help prop up a lot of the other mining companies, especially because we've been seeing this for a while that this was going to happen for Core Scientific most likely. Let me know your thoughts on Celsius and also on DCG, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.